Francis Drake was born in Devon, England, around 1540. England was a maritime nation. The seas offered opportunity. Young Francis yearned for adventure. He went to sea as a boy. He learned to sail from experienced seamen. Drake quickly mastered his trade. He soon gained a reputation for skill and daring. Drake's family had strong Protestant beliefs. This was a time of religious conflict. England was a Protestant nation. Spain was a Catholic superpower. The two were rivals at sea and in the New World. Drake's first voyages were to the New World. He sailed with his cousin John Hawkins. They engaged in trade. They also raided Spanish ships and settlements. This was a dangerous but profitable business. It was known as privateering. In 1567, Drake and Hawkins were attacked by the Spanish at San Juan de Ulua. This was a turning point for Drake. He lost ships and money. He vowed revenge against Spain. Drake's early voyages shaped his character. He was ambitious and ruthless. He was also courageous and resourceful. These qualities would serve him well in his later exploits. Drake is best known for his circumnavigation of the globe. This epic voyage lasted from 1577 to 1580. Drake set sail with 5 ships. His flagship was the Pelican, later renamed the Golden Hind. Drake's voyage was a remarkable feat of seamanship. He faced storms, disease, and hostile natives. He also made important geographical discoveries. He explored the coast of South America. He claimed California for England. Drake's circumnavigation was more than just an adventure. It was a political and economic statement. He challenged Spain's dominance in the Pacific. He returned to England laden with treasure. Drake's return to England made him a national hero. He was the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe. He brought back a fortune in Spanish treasure. Queen Elizabeth I knighted Drake aboard the Golden Hind. She shared in his wealth. She also encouraged his attacks on Spanish shipping. This angered King Philip II of Spain. Drake's wealth and fame came at a price. He was accused of piracy by the Spanish. His actions contributed to the growing tensions between England and Spain. Section 5, Spanish Treasure and English Glory, Privateering and Politics. Drake continued to attack Spanish ships and settlements. He saw this as a way to weaken Spain. He also profited handsomely from the capture of Spanish treasure. Drake's raids were part of a wider conflict. England and Spain were vying for power and influence. Their rivalry played out in the New World and on the high seas. Drake's privateering ventures were controversial. He was seen as a hero by many in England. He was denounced as a pirate by Spain. His actions blurred the lines between patriotism and profit. Section 6. The Dragon's Breath, Drake's fiery assault on Cadiz. In 1587, Drake launched a daring raid on Cadiz. This was a major Spanish port. It was a key staging point for the Spanish Armada. Drake's attack was devastating. He destroyed dozens of Spanish ships. He captured vast quantities of supplies. This delayed the Spanish invasion of England by a year. Drake's raid on Cadiz was a bold stroke. It demonstrated his tactical brilliance. It also showed the vulnerability of the Spanish fleet. It was a major propaganda victory for England. Section 7. Facing the Armada, Drake's role in defending England. In 1588, King Philip II of Spain launched the Spanish Armada. This was a massive fleet of warships. It was intended to invade and conquer England. Drake played a key role in the English defense. He was second in command of the English fleet. He used his experience and cunning to outmaneuver the Spanish. The defeat of the Spanish Armada was a turning point in English history. It marked the end of Spain's naval dominance. It secured England's independence. Drake's role in this victory cemented his legend. Section 8, a knighthood earned recognition and rewards. Sir Francis Drake, a name synonymous with bravery and naval prowess, earned his place in history through a series of remarkable achievements. Drake was hailed as a hero for his role in defeating the Armada. His strategic brilliance and fearless leadership were instrumental in turning the tide against the formidable Spanish fleet. He was showered with honors and rewards. The Elizabethan era saw him receiving numerous accolades, each a testament to his invaluable contributions to England's naval dominance. He was appointed Mayor of Plymouth. This position allowed him to influence local governance and further solidify his legacy within the community he cherished. He continued to serve in the Royal Navy. His commitment to his country never wavered, and he played a crucial role in various naval operations, ensuring England's maritime supremacy. Drake's later years were marked by a mix of triumph and tragedy. While he enjoyed many successes, he also faced significant challenges and losses that tested his resilience. He led successful expeditions against Spain. These ventures not only brought wealth and glory to England, but also cemented Drake's reputation as a formidable naval commander. He also suffered setbacks and defeats. Despite his many victories, Drake's career was not without its share of disappointments and failures, which he faced with characteristic determination. Drake's knighthood was a testament to his extraordinary career. Queen Elizabeth I herself recognized his unparalleled contributions by bestowing upon him the honor of knighthood, a moment that immortalized his legacy. He had risen from humble beginnings to become one of the most famous men in England. His journey from a modest upbringing to the heights of fame and fortune is a story of perseverance and ambition. He was a symbol of English sea power and national pride. Sir Francis Drake's life and career embodied the spirit of an era, representing the strength and resilience of England during a time of great exploration and conflict. Section 9. Drake's final voyage. The sea claims its own. In 1595, Drake embarked on his final voyage. He set sail for the Caribbean with a fleet of ships. His mission was to attack Spanish possessions and capture treasure. The voyage was a disaster from the start. Drake's fleet was plagued by bad luck and poor planning. The Spanish were prepared for his arrival. Drake's health was failing. Drake died of dysentery on January 28, 1596. He was buried at sea off the coast of Portobello, Panama. His death marked the end of an era. Section 10. Legacy of a Seahawk, Drake's enduring impact. Sir Francis Drake left behind a complex legacy that continues to be studied and debated by historians and enthusiasts alike. He was a brilliant seaman, a daring explorer, and a ruthless privateer. His skills in navigation and combat were unmatched, making him a formidable force on the high seas. He was a national hero and a controversial figure. To the English, he was a symbol of national pride and maritime prowess. To the Spanish, he was a feared pirate known as El Draque, the Dragon. Drake's voyages expanded England's knowledge of the world. His circumnavigation of the globe was a monumental achievement that showcased the possibilities of global exploration. His exploits challenged Spanish power, disrupting their control over the New World and weakening their naval dominance, and paved the way for English colonization. His actions laid the groundwork for England's future empire, influencing the course of history. His life continues to fascinate and inspire. Modern-day reenactments and historical studies keep his story alive, reminding us of his daring spirit. Drake's story is a reminder of the age of exploration, a time when the world was still largely unknown and full of mystery. It was a time of great danger and even greater opportunity. The seas were treacherous and the stakes were high, but the rewards for those who dared were immense. It was a time when men like Drake sailed the seas, driven by a thirst for adventure and a desire to make their mark on the world. Seeking fame, fortune, and adventure, their journeys were fraught with peril, but their discoveries and achievements have left an indelible mark on history, shaping the world as we know it today. Section 11. Conclusion: hero or villain? History's complex verdict. The question of whether Sir Francis Drake was a hero or a villain is one that has puzzled historians for centuries. His legacy is a tapestry woven with threads of both valor and controversy. Sir Francis Drake was a product of his time, a time when the world was still being mapped and the seas were the final frontier. He was a man who embodied the spirit of exploration and the relentless pursuit of glory. He was a man of action who lived in a violent and uncertain world where the line between heroism and villainy was often blurred. His daring exploits on the high seas made him a legend, but they also earned him many enemies. His actions cannot be judged by modern standards, as the context of his time was vastly different from today. The moral and ethical frameworks of the 16th century were not the same as those we hold now. Drake was a complex and contradictory figure, a man who could be both ruthless and compassionate. His dual nature makes it difficult to categorize him neatly as either a hero or a villain. He was capable of great cruelty and great generosity, often within the same breath. His raids on Spanish ships were brutal, yet he also showed kindness to those he deemed worthy. He was driven by ambition, patriotism, and a thirst for adventure. These motivations led him to circumnavigate the globe and to become one of the most famous sea captains in history. Whether hero or villain, Sir Francis Drake left an indelible mark on history. His name is etched into the annals of time, a testament to his enduring impact. His name is synonymous with the golden age of exploration, a period that saw the world expand and new horizons discovered. Drake's voyages contributed significantly to this era of discovery. His story continues to capture the imagination centuries after his death. The tales of his adventures, his triumphs, and his controversies are still told today, a reminder of the complexities of history and the enigmatic figures who shape it.